Hello, everybody. Good evening. I've come on a couple of minutes early just to make sure that it all works. I'm here on my own tonight, so. Hi, Anita. Hi, Dorothy. Hi, Alabek. Anita. Hi, Janet. Lisa. Sue. Miss Annie. Hi, Nin. Oh, bless all your hearts. Welcome. Get settled in. Now, we're going to leave it just 1 or 2 minutes past quarter past, just in case anybody is coming over from. Hang on, I'm just going to move. Just trying to move the comments around a little bit. Hi, Tafian. Hi, Ariel. Can everyone? I haven't got access to my YouTube, so obviously I can tell that everybody's online. But can you see me and can you hear me? Is everything okay? Is everything all right with the sound quality? Can you see me clearly? Put some thumbs up. Let's have some thumbs up. Yeah. Oh, I've got one. That's cool. Didn't know it did that. Oh, bless you. Okay. Right. It's quarter past, so we're going to start kind of moving into this. Hi, Annette. Hi, Miriam. Hi, Veronica. Yes, yes, yes. That's a big yes. Thank you. Thumbs up. Right, we're gonna move into this. If anybody's coming from the wonderful Pam Gregory's world event, we'll just kind of get settled in. I'm going to pull a card to begin with, and obviously this is Diana Cooper's new deck of cards, Golden Future. I've been playing with these recently. I really like them, and of course Miriam Beck's online. You might have seen our post recently about there's going to be a deck of cards compiled by Miriam, Vivian of Lorient, and myself, and they should be available in May. But for the time being, I'm really enjoying Diana's cards, most definitely. So see who and what is going to come through for us tonight with this. So just bear with me. As you've probably noted before, I'm not the most professional of card shufflers. Sometimes you see people with their oracle decks and they're like all looking all swishy. That's not me. I'm more likely to just drop them all over the bloody floor. So just bear with me. I've got to be careful with my cards. Hi, Sue. Hi, Jean. Hi, Janie. How you all doing? Oh, look at me. What a pro. Right. Who have we got? I'm not so sure about this one, you know, but I thought maybe they're playing with this for a bit of comedy value. Robots, set yourself free with wisdom. Do you know, I didn't even know that card was in the deck. Set yourself free with wisdom. Well, that's a good message. That is a good message. Setting yourself free with wisdom. Not entirely sure that's going to be down to robots, though. I think that's going to be more down to us. So, right, without further ado, let's get into tonight's event. Thank you all for joining me tonight. It's 3-3. It's the March portal. Now, there's quite a fuss and furore. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. There's always a lot of hullabaloo, song and dance about the portal dates, and indeed they're very powerful. Tonight, I don't know whether you've seen the space weather. It's been described that the aura or the aurora of planet Earth has been completely lit up by solar flares. Funnily enough, I just had a a bit of a magic moment before I came online, because I got this message from my internet provider saying that your internet is crap. Please reset it. So I did, and it only just came on like literally 1 minute before I was supposed to be presenting tonight. So all is good. Here we are. The connection is solid and stable, just like ours. So we've got this incredible kind of light show going on, apparently. And even in here in the UK, I mean, I'm about as far south in the UK as you can get without falling in the sea, basically. So apparently, even all of us, we're going to be able to see this reddish light in the sky, which is apparently the intensity of the solar flares that are coming down. So, portal dates, it's the 3rd of the 3rd. Now, in the Northern Hemisphere, that means, yay, we're getting towards spring. The daffodils are out, the evenings are getting longer, the mornings are getting lighter, even though they're freezing cold, and it is generally looking like we are heading in that general direction. And obviously, if you live in the Southern Hemisphere and it's not spring, it's autumn sort of thing. Again, it's a portal date where we're heading towards that vital balance period, the equinox, and the energy is moving up. So as I booked this and set the energy for it, I actually asked myself, what is it about portal dates that make it so important? What does make the 3rd of the 3rd any different from, say, the 4th of the 3rd, or maybe the middle of April or something like that? And the answer that I get back is that it's our intention. Okay, it's the focus and the application and the overall dedication that all of us have when we unify conscious thought and application to a subject that builds the energy. And I've had this verified by a good friend of mine, Claire Taylor, who works for the Energy Clinic. And Claire, if you're on here tonight, I hope you don't mind me dropping your name in on this, but Claire always says on days that are like numerologically important, like today, that she's always fully booked, literally always. If it's a solstice, you can expect it on a solstice. If it's an equinox, great. If you've got, say, the 8th of the 8th, we all know what date that is. That's the Lion's Gate, and everyone forgets about the numbers because that Leo energy and that portal, that line up with the galactic core is always so powerful. I think everybody no longer cares about what date it is. It's just the Lion's Gate, but that's a different energy altogether. And I was looking. I've had the information given to me on several occasions that we as human beings living in this part of the 3rd dimension, basically the end part, as we were moving up towards 2012, we'd been born into a society or a civilization, whichever part of the planet that we're on, that has been deliberately placed out of alignment with natural order. So as the information goes, there should actually be 13 months of the year, and every single one of those months is in perfect alignment with the lunar cycle. So that means it's an actual fact. If we look at that calendar instead of this calendar, it's not really the 3rd of March. And this was like, well, if that's the case, then how come it's so powerful? How come it's been allocated as being a portal date, a date of utmost importance? And the answer that I got back, and this was Merlin stepping in. Merlin's going to be working with us tonight, or we're going to be working with Merlin, whichever way around you want to put it. And they were basically saying, Archangel Metatron and Merlin were basically saying that the focus and the intention of light workers doing the job that we're doing is so powerful that we create the importance of the portal date. And that makes perfect sense. And there's a few little kind of leads that I want to follow with this. Obviously, we're going to be working with this energy tonight, and Merlin's got a little bit of a treat. We're going to be kind of like coming in with. He describes it a little bit as a spring clean. You'll just bear with me. We'll find out a little bit of how that's going to go later on, and so this importance that we've allocated to this date, we've also allocated this importance to the moon. Even though the moon is powerful, the moon controls the tides, and therefore the waters within our body, the divine feminine body, will match the cycle or will respond to the cycle very powerfully. The power of the moon, the lunar cycle. So all of these misalignments with natural law, we've kind of filled in the gaps, and we've pulled it back in together and made it of importance. So we've all decided that the third of the third is going to be spiritually significant, and therefore it is. So all of us together aligning tonight, beginning the Sunday Night Ascension Club. There's many millions of other light workers around the world who've also noted that it's the third of the third. Now, the third, or the threes, indicate Christ consciousness. They're the numbers that are always kind of attributed to the Christ light, to Christ consciousness, the reoccurring threes. The same way as that the 2 2s are master builder numbers, or the 1 1 1s are the numbers that usually flash up on your cooker or on your car, when you're driving somewhere, when the universe is trying to get your attention. 1 1 1s are usually given to me when I'm kind of getting grabbed by the scruff of the neck and shaken. It's like, "Oi, Tim, what are you doing? You need to be focused upon this." 2 2s I tend to receive when things have started to move in the direction of fruition. 333 is a very sacred number to me. It always indicates Christ consciousness, Christ light. When I get reoccurring threes, it's all systems go. And so therefore we've allocated these numbers and the numerological importance to the portal day. Hence it's worth celebrating, because every single little bit of intention that we put into something blooms into something far greater and of importance and magnitude. And that also brings me to the other little thread, or the other little kind of subject that I want to be working with tonight. I've mentioned on a few occasions, and I kind of started about 2 or 3 weeks ago, acknowledging from the heart center the shadow that is running through the light community. And this has been recognized by many of us. It's something that we experience. If you think about the term shadow work, usually it kind of strikes fear into us, like, shadow work, don't want to do that. It's really tough. And paradoxically, I also know people that have got so proficient at shadow work that they've become morbidly addicted to it. A little bit like going to the gym and completely smashing yourself. It's one of these things where, like, oh, actually I can dig in, I can bring all of this to the surface, I can love it, I can acknowledge it, I can release it, and then I'm left with this clean template. But the trick is to know when to stop digging, because everything becomes kind of quite addictive if you do it repeatedly. If you get results from something, we as human beings automatically begin to repeat it because it's had a positive result. So it's like, okay, well, that works, I'm going to keep doing it. And sometimes we have to step out of that in order to move to the next phase, to begin allocating our time, our intention to something else. So this shadow, I want to talk about this a little bit, because we've had just a never-ending stream of incredibly powerful ascension energies coming through. 2024, the beginning of it, January, February appears to have gone past in a zip, just a complete flash of energy. We've all been kind of hands-on, incredibly busy dealing what we're dealing with, light worker stuff, getting stuck in. And I think one of the most challenging things for many of us at the moment is to acknowledge this shadow with love. Okay, because one of the most natural reactions that we've adopted during the third dimension, which we're no longer in, by the way, we're well clear of 3D. We're moving our way through fourth and creating fifth as we do so. And, together in this sacred space tonight, all of us, we're in a fifth dimensional community. We're like-minded. We've come here with the intention of doing the work that we're going to do with our hearts open. And if you come to the table tonight feeling a little bit like maybe you're feeling a bit off color, a little bit battered, this session's for you. Basically, we're just going to kind of work on all of that that's coming through and coming up. So this thread, this theme, this year, this fast start, all of these incredibly intensive ascension energies, it's revealed and almost forced us to acknowledge the shadow collectively that runs through all of us. Now, this is never anything to be downhearted about, to sort of like to lose pride in yourself, or to say that, oh my God, like this I've done this, I've behaved like that. Or you can see other people emulating patterns of behavior that you have within yourself. Or maybe, if you're really, really honest, you hide them. You don't want people to see them. Well, all of this is coming to the surface at the moment. And as it does so, the collective shadow, not the disorder, almost the disorientation of our fields as they resort themselves and realign themselves, that is being reflected to us in the way that the entire construction of all our societies are acting at the moment. If you boil it down to the nuts and bolts of the ascension process, as within, so without. So individually and collectively, we experience the projection of the internal reality through the lens of our incredibly powerful creative abilities. So all the souls that are kind of being really hit by these new high frequency energies, all the people that might just be waking up, those that might have been kind of taken off down the wrong pathway, all of the negative aspects of the behaviors that we acknowledge within ourselves and with others that we know needs to be changed in the outside world, all of it is becoming visible now. It's almost like every single TV screen that you could possibly have in the world is pumping out a different story with different distractions. And in the middle of it, here we are dealing with our stuff. And we've got to deal with it. At the end of the day, we can't pretend it doesn't exist. Gone are the days of kind of wafting around like, as kind of like incredibly perfect light workers without a single kind of hair out of place kind of thing, if that's your style. And refusing to acknowledge the aspects of ourselves, the internal shadow, the collective shadow that's running through it. And that is being really exacerbated. We're seeing this in the behavior patterns of people around us. Those in the world that are struggling, those that have not woken up, those that are still being hypnotized or are breaking free from the hypnotism or have done so. And they're really angry about it. They've suddenly woken up and they've realized that they've been part of a machine that's fooled them for this lifetime, that lifetime, the lifetime before, and going all the way back to the fall of Atlantis. You can go back as far as you like. And it's all been a massive, continuous long-running lesson of the third dimension. So bearing that in mind, okay, bearing in mind where we've come from, the incredible movement through the third dimension, all of those lessons, all of those tests, all of the things that we've collectively experienced together, did we really think that we'd step onto the ascension pathway as chalices of utter perfection? Because I used to have very, very high expectations of myself. I used to really feel that if I didn't step up to the mark, or I didn't meet my own expectations as a light worker, that I was doing something really wrong. But one of the things that we are all going to be learning this year, and I can hear Merlin, I sort of like Merlin kind of nodding behind in the background, is loving our imperfections. You know, loving those aspects of ourselves that are really kind of shouting for attention, those bad habits, those points, that early snapping point that we've all got with something, or patterns of behavior. The triggers are the important part. Knowing what the triggers are, acknowledging the triggers, loving the triggers, accepting the triggers, everything as it comes up will be alchemized, because we have become aware of it. And together, collectively and individually, we're starting to step up, and we're prepared to work with it. So this tonight, this 3-3, working with this portal energy, this supercharged auric kind of field around the earth. Can you feel it? Have you been feeling it today? Perhaps you might have been feeling it yesterday, or the day before, or hopping back into the day out of time on the 29th of February. If you look at it from the old aspect, the old calendar, the calendar that existed previously, that aligned with natural law, there was no 29th, there was no leap year. Okay, it was all set amounts of months and days, and they all aligned with the lunar cycle. And that's how we've managed to allow ourselves, or part of our lessons have been to get kicked out of alignment, to be, you know, in a position now where we've got to kind of grasp the reins and pull ourselves back in. And little by little, and maybe in big jumps as well, we're going to start seeing the changes occur around us, because the people are all waking up. And I'm loving the space that we're in at the moment very much. There's many points, particularly in the last 10 years, where I've said to myself, like, God Almighty, this is difficult. You know, why in my right mind would I have signed up for this particular experience? You know, the first 10 years of the Ascension process, from the 21st of December 2012, when the cosmic moment occurred and we flipped from 3D to 4D overnight, that's when the planet began to be lit up every day by incoming Ascension energies. New portals opened up. Archangels and ascended masters that hadn't been available to us previously all began stepping forwards. The Lyran Stargate opened, allowing an absolute flood of unicorns to come to the earth. The dragon portals in Hawaii, they opened up, and all of these billions of dragons came back. I think if we cast our mind back to the first 10 years of the Ascension process, when we look back on it in further down the line in the future, we'll go, wow, no wonder we felt like we were in a washing machine, in a roller coaster, to have achieved an energy shift and a wake up of that magnitude in that tiny little decade, that space of time, was quite something. And that's nothing compared to what we're going to be achieving in this coming year. You know, you think we're 2 year, like coming into 2 years into the second half of the Ascension process already. It's just all kicking off, but kicking off in a good way, because in many ways we have to look, I believe personally, at the chaos around us, all of this fuss, all of this the carnival that's projected from 3D all the time as a sign that things are working, that people will wake up, because it's the difficult things, it's the intolerable actions of the shadow aspects of 3D that make the wake up. Okay, if these things weren't occurring, if things weren't pressurized, if they weren't difficult, everybody would stay asleep. There would be no reason for people to have woken up. You think what happened in 2020? I always feel that that was just the most remarkable thing that happened on Earth. The whole planet just stopped. Okay, it was orchestrated in the background by the puppeteers for that to occur, or I personally believe it did, and the whole world just stopped. Like, that's never happened before. That occurred specifically to really bring about a set of circumstances that was going to allow everybody to begin to see. Okay, so sight is going to be on the menu tonight when we go in, when we do a meditation with Merlin, because he's very keen. He was with me in the woods the other night. I'm like, Merlin, I've got a long-standing relationship with Merlin. Some of you might have heard the story if I've told it at live events, but right back in I'm coming up, I'm 52 in August this year, and right back in my mid-20s, I got guided or invited to go to a local lady who drew guides. This was like my first kind of connection with my spirit guides, with my angels. And first of all, she's had to sit on the other side of the room. She said it was like sitting next to the sun. I thought that was quite normal, maybe she's very sensitive and reacts to people in that way. Then she started drawing this guy, and I've still got the picture somewhere. If I find it and dig it out, I will post it on Facebook or Instagram to just show. And it just basically looks like a guy in a robe with a beard who's been dragged out of a hedge. Literally, he's got twigs sticking out of his hood, leaves, all bits of stuff all over him, and he's got a globe, like a clear crystal ball, in his hand. Looks very, very important. And I was told that that was my guide and that he was here and wanted to connect with me. And I connected with him, and he was really grumpy. I was like, okay, well, at least give me somebody with a sense of humor, or somebody who wants to talk to me, because this guy just wanted to be left alone. This guide, he was just like, like, when are you going to get on with it? And it didn't come about. I didn't get a proper name for this guide until much, much later, in fact, quite recently. And of course, it was Merlin. Merlin was there. And so whenever I work with Merlin, I always see him appear out of a bush. Some of you might have this kind of vision of Merlin kind of being there in his robes with his wizard hat, or being at Tintagel in Cornwall, which is where his spiritual retreat is. But whenever I see him, he just steps out of a bush. It doesn't matter what bush it is. It could be brambles, it could be a holly hedge, it could be wherever it is, and he's there. That's what he loves doing. That's the energy he likes being in. And I can see why, because so many of us are being guided to get out in nature at the moment to make those connections. So I'm always very happy when Merlin steps in, but there's also always work to be done. Okay, when Merlin shows up, it means it's time to work, that there has to be an end result to the game in play, that there's not going to be any more sitting around. You know what his energy's like. He's very bustly, likes to get things done. And because he doesn't experience time like we experience time, it's all got to be done immediately. So that's my experience of him anyway. I love working with him. He's actually got a brilliant sense of humour. The humour comes out a bit later on when you've kind of connected and you've got to know him, and you can take a bit of sarcasm and ribbing and all the rest of it. All part of the game, all part of the fun. So the work that we want to do tonight, he's looking at kind of spring cleaning. I'm also aware of the fact of just stating the intention of what we're going to be doing if you're going to be kind of like coming on board. For each, there's 10 of these Sunday night Ascension Club events. Obviously, you can just pick and choose which ones you want to come to if the subject is resonating with you. But what will probably be happening as a general theme is the fact that they are going to be building in kind of intensity as we go through. That's generally or usually how things work. I'm also aware of the fact that booking things in advance, I'm not so keen on doing that as I used to be. I used to be happy to write what I was going to be doing in a workshop 6 months in advance, and then being able to kind of stick with that and apply myself to it. But as we all know at the moment, as we've all experienced in one way or another, things are coming in so quickly and the times they are changing. So what we are planning to do on a certain day might actually be something a little bit different when push comes to shove. So I hope for those of you that are joining me will be able to bear with me a little bit on this. Now, I'm not going to sit here and talk all your ears off all night. We're going to do a little bit of a meditation and dive in. This is just going to be a guided step in, a guided meditation with Merlin. Archangel Metatron wants to come into, and just let's see where this flows. Let's see where this goes. Now, I'm going to share a screen share of the Yggdrasil picture, which is one of the scarves that I did in harmony with Donny Morris and Lavisa Alton, because it encapsulates the spring green energy which Merlin was bringing through with him when he first appeared to me. So if you want to just take a few seconds to grab a drink, to grab a crystal, to just make yourselves comfortable, please do so. I'll begin when I feel that the field is all ready. So here we go. This is the screen share. Hope you all like it. You can actually tune into this with your heart and your third eye for a few moments. It's incredibly powerful. So just tuning into this with your hearts, with your third eye. I'm just going to open my bottle a sec. It might make a horrible screeching noise, so I do apologise. There we go, done it. And just breathe and relax. Now you can either just look into the core of Yggdrasil for a few moments, into that beautiful golden centre, with the aquamarine, with the purple light, with the beautiful rainbow colours of the Bifrost around the outside of it, and the fresh spring green. Breathe and relax. And just know that you are in the safest space at this moment in time. You have dedicated yourselves to working for planet Earth, for Mother Earth, for yourselves on your soul mission, whether you have fully identified with your soul mission, whether you are where you need to be at this moment in time. It doesn't matter. You're exactly where you need to be precisely now. So just allow yourself to relax. Give yourself permission. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. And as you're doing this, breathe in the energy of the picture, the portal of light in front of you, which I always see as a slice of the trunk of Yggdrasil. If you were looking at the top of the trunk of Yggdrasil, a slice of it, looking downwards, this is what the energy looks like as it is flowing up from the roots to the branches of the trees. Allow yourself to be immersed in this. Just relaxing, breathing deeply, knowing that you are in the safest space. You are only here to raise your frequency, to raise your vibration. And whether you are here live for this presentation, to this workshop tonight, or whether you are joining a little bit later via the recording, it'll be just as powerful as it is in the moment. If you watched it in 3 weeks' time, in 3 months, 3 years, you will still receive exactly the same energy. So just tuning in now. The higher selves of those that will join later are also with us. So move your focus from the individual into the collective that we are together. And imagine seeing yourselves sat in a circle, a huge circle. All of us in our energy bodies, we have joined together, joining hands. And as we're breathing in this beautiful spring green and multicoloured, bifrost coloured energy into our bodies and fields, every cell of us is beginning to light up. But most importantly, bring your focus to your heart centre now. Everything begins with the heart. This is the core of the Ascension process planet-wide, the 5th dimensional heart centre. So open yours now, breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth. And with each in-breath and out-breath, your heart centre expands. First of all, it is localised within your chest as it begins to move outwards. Then moving to your shoulders, stretching out from your bodies. And it's beginning to intermingle with the heart light of the person next to you. As you're moving into this, just take note of the person to your left and the person to your right as we are sat in this energetic circle, gathered together on the date of the 3rd of March, the 3-3 portal, in celebration of the love that we have for ourselves and for the planet, and for the ride that we are on, this ascension journey. All of our hearts are now expanding in unison. It only takes 3 breaths to activate a keen and excited 5th dimensional heart centre, so just feel it spreading out. It's meeting and greeting and merging and unifying with the heart centres of the people on either side of us and spreading even further. And very quickly, an individual bubble of heart light becomes a unified bubble of heart light as everybody begins to join together. So see and feel yourself now in the safest space. You are cocooned in your individual and unified heart light. And we're now going to set this energy, not just for tonight, but for any of the upcoming events that we attend together. Whether you're here just for one, whether you're here for the whole lot, just feel now and really sense the power, the safety, the unity and the love that we have together as a tribe of light. And just allowing now the energies of aquamarine, of gold, of rainbow bifrost, of maroon, of diamond white, and fresh spring green to flood into that half sphere, into that field. And this is creating a pool of light in between all of us. You might have already seen this pool before I mentioned it, or it might just spring into life as you begin to focus upon it. And this pool of light is filling up quickly, almost as if we are gathered around the shore of a small lake. Just take a moment to dedicate an energy of your choice to place within the pool. Now, this can be anything. It can be love from your heart. Just take a few moments to breathe this into the pool of light that we are collectively sharing. It could be a flow of the gold ray of Christ. It could be the Mahatma energy. Or it could be the power and the light and the focus of your own soul. Breathe this in and breathe it out. And start to see the pool in the centre of us beginning to change colour. It is beginning to light up with all of these dancing mixtures of flashing energy and frequency and liquid light that we are creating together. Our united focus and intention is bringing about the creation of our own ascension pool, which we can honour, we can use, we can come back to whenever we feel the need to. We will always start by this pool. And every time that we do, we will add new energies, new light, and new love to be mixed in with it. So just bringing your focus and your attention back to you now. You can either stay sitting by the pool, or you can just also be aware of the fact that you are now going to go on an individual journey, bringing yourself back to you. As you breathe and relax, as you take another deep breath into your heart center, be aware that your heart is asking you to step out of your body now into an energy field and you are now going upon a little adventure. As you step up, as you begin to move around, as your consciousness is beginning to wander, as it's looking for something else to focus upon, you are met face to face by Ascended Master Merlin. Just take a few moments to meet Merlin eye to eye. How is he dressed to you? He appears in several garbs on different occasions. Sometimes it is the bushman's robes that he likes to wear. Other times he wears deep royal purple, sometimes accompanied by a wizard's hat. Or he wears an incredibly beautiful green and golden robe, the robes of alchemy, of higher light. How is Merlin appearing to you now? He is looking you directly in the eyes. And he has a message for you. So just place your hand upon your heart at this moment in time. and just receive this message from Merlin. What's he got to say to you on this beautiful, beautiful night? As you are connecting with Merlin, you might start to feel the cells of your body lighting up. Merlin turns around now and he begins to walk. And as he does so, a most beautiful vista around you begins to form. You are walking with Merlin on a sunlit forest path. There are trees all around you in the fresh green colours of spring. These trees are tall and the sun is shining through them. It's dappling upon the pathway in front of you. The pathway is weaving and Merlin is walking by your side. Merlin has a message for you on this night, and he is speaking now to you via your higher mind. He wishes you to know that your powers are increasing, they're changing, they are growing. Even if you have only been on this ascension pathway for a short period of time. You have been dunked in at the deep end, perhaps, he says. You may feel like this is all flowing and moving too quickly. In the centre of all of this, you know within your heart that you are exactly where you are meant to be at this moment in time. Nothing is happening too quickly. Nothing is happening too slowly. Everything is exactly as it should be. And as you walk in the presence of Merlin, just begin to feel all of the cells of your body not just relaxing, but your physical body is beginning to wish or maybe indicate that it is wanting to let go of density. Now, density, Merlin says, can leave the body in many forms. Once it is recognized, it can be released via alchemy. If it lies within your body unrecognized and stored, perhaps via trauma, it will release itself perhaps via illness or events that challenge those aspects of you. Merlin is offering you the opportunity tonight to release anything that is coming up for you at this moment in time from the physical, the shadows and the burdens that you have been carrying for so long. Merlin may seem stern to some, but he is filled with the most beautiful facet of unconditional love. He loves Earth and the people here so much that he has come back time and time again. He has learnt the natural laws inside out through 3D, 4D, 5D, and all the way up to the top. In all of the aspects and all of the vibrations and all of the dimensional spaces that Earth, planet Earth exists in, Merlin has learned all about it. Feel your physical body starting to release now. The forest path that you are walking upon with Merlin eventually opens into the most beautiful glade. This glade is circular, perfectly circular. In the centre of the glade is a small pond filled with what looks like forest wildlife. Birds and fish break the water. You see the insects gathered around the water as the sunlight filters through the trees. And there are 2 stones by the side of this pool, this pond. Merlin sits upon one, and you sit upon the other. Just take a few moments to make yourself comfortable. Sitting with Merlin, relaxing in this beautiful sunlit forest glade. Just take this moment for yourself. Give your physical body permission to just let go of anything that you don't want to hold on to. It could be tension at the base of your neck where your altar major is clearing. It could be an imbalance in the sacral within the hips. It could be your base chakra shouting out because your higher self is yearning to connect with it and to anchor in. Everything within the physical body is adaptation and going through a process of upgrade. Looking you again deeply in the eyes, Merlin takes your hands and he breathes, taking a deep breath in, and he breathes out, and as he breathes round, you feel yourself surrounded by an incredible vortex of energetic light. And Merlin takes another deep breath in, breathing in through his nose, and as he breathes out, he breathes more of this vortex energy all around your physical. Now, this vortex of energy that Merlin has breathed around you can move as slowly or as quickly as you are perceiving it. Some of you may perceive it almost as cyclonic, moving really, really quickly. Or others, it may just move around you slowly. This is a dedicated energy to release everything from your physical and your mental, your emotional and your spiritual that you don't wish to have within you anymore. So first of all, just feel the physical releasing, letting go. You might be pointed to the shadows that you carry, the triggers within the physical that hold the keys to the energetic. Which chakra is held in, which part of your body contains the memory. And as you begin to focus, as you tune in to yourself, just become so aware of the beautiful you that is willing to do this job, to release and to let go and to let God. And feel the vortex of Merlin's energy all around you. For some moving quick, others moving slowly. Just cleansing every cell of your physical. And as it does so, as you are cleansed, spring cleaned, as Merlin puts it, the cells of your body are being infused with light that shines with the frequency of the tree of life of Yggdrasil, the mighty world tree. To see gold and greens and rainbow colours platinum frequencies, aquamarine, just lighting up your physical. Breathe this energy in. And breathing out now. And Merlin's cyclonic energy attends now gently to your mental body, the fast-moving body of energy that perceives and thinks the thoughts, is connected in many cases to the higher mind, but can also detach itself from the higher mind just as easily when distracted. If your mind has been racing with these new energies recently, just take a moment to allow your mental body to be completely still. As still as the pond that you are sat beside with Merlin. The glassy, beautiful, clear water. Just feel your mental body relax, almost breathe a sigh of relief. And again, this is ignited and lit up with the incredible frequencies and colours, but predominantly fresh spring green, indicating bright new starts, new growth, new leaves, refreshing your connection to your higher self and allowing the higher mind to step in. Now bring your attention to your emotional fields, which contain so much and have done so much work for you. You are not just an emotional print of this lifetime. You go all the way back. You are the chosen carrier of all of those experiences moving down your ancestral and your karmic lineage. Now is the time to let go of everything that's bogging you down, that you are hanging on to, and is also maybe controlling in times of stress how you respond to situations. Allow this light to wash through your emotional fields now, to spring clean everything that you no longer wish to hold. Let it go. And you might sense and feel the velocity of Merlin's vortex speeding up a little bit now. If you are aware at this moment of any past life issues, any karma that is coming through to you, any timelines that might have been joining on to you, whether known or unknown, allow them to release and dissolve right now. Being aware of your emotional field, see if you have any lines coming from, can be any direction, joining with any part of your body. If you see them, fill them with this beautiful spring green, bifrost rainbow, golden and aquamarine light. And just watch this light race down them, releasing, letting go. Merlin is saying that you have got to want to be free. It's no good just going through the motions. You have got to want to let this go. You need to acknowledge all of the habits and patterns that sometimes keep us in states that we believe that we should be free of. Allow the emotional body to just hand them over, to let them go to you now. As you begin to glow brighter and brighter, Take a deep breath in now. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And now naturally Merlin is turning the attention of his vortex to your spiritual fields. These can be extending a great way around you. For the purposes of this walk through the forest, you are now drawing your auric field, which can be a vast distance all around you, back to this space. See if you can fit it in amongst this space within the trees. And as you do so, as your spiritual fields fill the copse, the clearing, it is absolutely lit up and filled with the most beautiful, bright, spring green light. And Merlin expands his vortex, taking a deep breath in through his nose and out through his mouth and blowing his vortex so that it expands and encompasses your entire spiritual fields. This is his gift to you for being here tonight, to just clear the field and fill it with the most exquisite, bright, green and gold and aquamarine and bifrost energies. Just feel this all cleansing and lighting you up. Merlin says to you, you may be aware or you may be unaware of the importance that we apply to portal dates. This is via your intention, your dedication. And truly they have become standout dates of incredible power. So just feeling now your auric field cleansed and lit up. And just breathing and relaxing now as the last part of this spring clean just begins to remove all of the final vestiges of any energy that you wish to release. And as you do so, Merlin clicks his fingers and the vortex fades away. And now it is just you and Merlin, sat eye to eye, heart to heart. And he places one finger upon your third eye. As he does so, your entire third eye is utterly illumined and lit up. It glows like the most incredible, bright, high-frequency crystal ball. You might notice, if you can see or perceive your own third eye, that it is also lit up with the colours of the trunk of Yggdrasil. As Merlin has his finger upon your forehead, you suddenly see that the copse, the glade, the space that you are sat in, is filled with activity. The fairies, the pixies, the gnomes, the sylphs, the undines, the dragons, the angelics, all of the higher beings of light, suddenly they are visible to you. Just take a deep breath in as you witness these incredible beings going about their everyday business, swirling, flitting, attending to leaves, the plants, the insects. And as they see you see them, they stop what they are doing. And they all turn their attention to you. But Merlin is asking you to witness something else, as he, with his finger upon your third eye, is granting you the sight into the other realms. As you look towards your feet, you see also shadows below you. Some of these look dark and maybe a little bit tormented there, moving around. Does this worry you? Merlin says. Merlin is asking, with the sight that you will have, and that you are being gifted, and that you are stepping into, you will see the higher realms. But at this point in our transition, you may also witness the lower. Please understand, beloved soul, that this is just a natural part of the cycle that you are part of. As within, so without, as above, so below. Are you ready to see fully with your third eye? To see into the higher realms, to the parallels, to maybe to the below if they present themselves to you? Will you see without fear? And if the answer is yes, then the sixth veil of amnesia will be removing itself from your third eye as we speak. But be prepared to see, beloved, Merlin says. If you are not ready yet, it may just take a little bit longer. So just relaxing now as Merlin clears your third eye. See any mist or any fog, any detritus, anything that may have been placed upon your third eye, to prevent it from seeing clearly, and this might even be your own fear. Just, it has the opportunity to be released now. Give this permission to occur. It is a natural process that will happen anyway. So just feel your third eye lighting up. A beautiful, clear crystal ball that sees all. 360-degree master vision. The power to manifest with clarity, to see the divine, to perceive what is right and what is wrong for you. Powers of discernment that you thought you might not have. Clarity, creative focus, unwavering dedication to your path. Just feel any blockages, any fog, anything else just lifting from your third eye now. Just breathe and relax. And after a while, Merlin stands. And he takes your hands again, looks lovingly into your eyes. And he says to you that you can return to this spot whenever you want. Whenever you feel the need for peace or space, he will be waiting there for you by the pool. So just with your hand upon your heart, thank Merlin now. And he stays by the pool as you walk back on your own along the forest path. Back, coming back now, and rejoining the circle of heart-centered light. All of us gathered around the pool of energy that we are creating together. And just take a seat by your brothers and your sisters for a few moments. This pool of light is growing. Just take a moment to channel or dedicate or send it to anywhere on the planet where it is needed the most. And the guidance is that you can do this. You don't need to send it via an ascended master or an angel. Take a scoop, a handful of the liquid light in your hands and send it. By the power of your intention, dedicate it with grace to flow either into the ley systems, to bless the trees, the seas, the plants, the insects, the people. Or maybe you want to send it for individual healing. Just take a few moments to do this now. Breathe in. Take a handful of the light. Breathe out. Send it to wherever it needs to go. With loving grace. See it reach its target destination and light them up. I'm just doing this for a few moments more. When you have sent a dedication of your light to wherever you feel it needs to go, just feel yourself now coming back from the heart union back into your body, wherever you are on the face of planet Earth, back into your physical. Land physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Say the word unify. 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 3 times. Take another deep breath in. Feel the floor beneath your feet. Maybe send some lovely silver earth star roots down into the planet. When you're ready, open your eyes and come on back. Thank you all tonight for joining me and for joining Merlin as well. He was looking forward to that. Lovely people. Just bring yourselves back. I'm aware of the time. I've run over slightly, so I do apologise if you had anywhere to be on this Sunday night, or it might be the morning. And just as you're coming back, take note of your bodies and your fields. How do you feel? Just make sure you're grounded. Merlin's saying, drink lots of water. Bit of a nag. Most of us don't drink enough, apparently. I try to. I try to stay rehydrated as much as possible. But it's not always easy. And sometimes with this work, the light work that we do, oh, bless you all. Hey, 3:33, there you go. Love it. Thank you for that. Oh. Well, if you want to join for another one, I'll be back on the 24th of March, where it'll be part 2. And we'll just have just have to excuse me here. So the next one will be, the Ascension chakra system. So that will be a good dive in. I know you hear me talk about the Ascension chakra system a lot. We'll be going in at a different angle for this one. So, yeah, jump on in if you fancy it. 24th of March. I don't know whether the clocks will have changed in the UK by then. They might have done, but it doesn't really matter anyway. We'll all find our way one way or another, and it will be 7:15 again. And yeah, I'm going to give Pam's World Meditation a good shout out on Facebook, and if you fancy doing that as well, because what she's doing is amazing. Sending you all so much love. You will be receiving the recording for this event either maybe later tonight, but most likely tomorrow morning, because it takes a little bit of time to process via YouTube. But I love you all very much. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.